Mohenjo-Daro, whose means Mound of the Dead Men, is an archaeological site in the province of Sindh, Pakistan. Built around 2500 BCE, it was one of the largest settlements of the ancient Indus Valley Civilization, and one of the world's earliest major cities, contemporaneous with the civilizations of ancient Egypt, Mesopotamia, Minoan Crete, and North Chico. Mohenjo-Daro was abandoned in the 19th century BCE as the Indus Valley Civilization declined, and the site was not rediscovered until the 1920s. Mohenjo-Daro. The ancient city of Mohenjo-Daro would appear to be streets parallel and perpendicular to each other like a modern city. Actually had their own toilets that had a very few sources. So it looks like the advanced city. Ancient astronaut theorists have long thought this site was also the epicenter of a nuclear explosion that occurred more than 4,000 years ago. Skeletons are found in decisions, and so there's an insidious death. And some of those skeletons, as measured by Soviet scientists, had 50 times the normal radioactivity. They found pottery that had been fused, that were heated to such an extent they became vitrified or glass, suggesting some sort of ancient nuclear weapon involved. According to the Mahabharata, the ancient holy texts of the Hindus, white-hot smoke rose in infinite brilliance and reduced the city to ashes. Horses were burned by the 1000s and corpses were vaporized by intense heat, and afterwards big silence came over the entire land. And people start to have boils on their skin, their hair start to fall out, and their nails. There's only one thing that causes this, and that is radiation poisoning. It's radiation fallout. So the question then becomes, when events happen in a place where there is extreme radiation, what impact does that have on human life or on other lives present? We know that in civilizations where anomalous human beings are born, somehow the touch of God is seen to be part of this creation. According to the ancient Hindu texts, after the carnage of Mohenjo-Daro, a fearsome flying monster appeared in the sky. It was called Garuda. In the Mahabharata, the Garuda is a massive bird-like creature of red face, red wings, talent is so huge block out the sun. There are stories that it would let a certain god Vishnu ride on him on occasion. Each and every time he would show up descending from the sky, he would create hurricane winds, and upon his descent dust flap. Everyone said he would be absolutely terrified. Now, here we have a carving of Garuda, and if we look at the top, yes, they look like feathers, but at the same time, they could be interpreted as big, gigantic flames. According to Hindu mythology, the root is born out of this cosmic event and destruction that happens at the end of every age. Could this have been somehow connected to exposures? Or to radiation being born within a zone of high radiation? We cannot know the answer, but we do know that within India, within Pakistan, there are known zones of higher radiation than there are. The logic dictates that somehow genetic abominations will have been born within those places.